Fancy lad.
Fancy lad.
Fancy
Podcast. Fancy lad.
Fancy
Podcast. Gonna talk to my friends. Gonna share a
Fancy
thought.
lad.
Gonna have a laugh. That's what I
Fancy
thought.
lad.
Fancy lad.
Fancy
Fancy lad
lad.
podcast. Fancy lad. Fancy lad
Fancy lad.
podcast. Yeah.
And we are back.
Oh, my goodness. That is correct. We are back.
Oh, my God. It's like a sweet treat in my mouth just to say it.
And I know how much you love sweet, sweet treats in your mouth.
I know.
That pretty little mouth of yours.
It's a problem.
It is a problem. It's honestly a real big problem,
I know.
especially if people don't know what you're about. Sweet treats.
I mean, now they know what I'm about.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's good to get it, get that across to everyone.
But
at
you're
the
just
beginning.
lucky that I can even just spend an hour out of my week not having a sweet treat in my mouth to do this podcast.
Mhm. Or even if it's not a sweet treat, just something in your mouth.
I know.
You've got what the docs have been calling an oral fixation.
Don't get me started. I've been talking about this all day, all right?
I know, and again, this isn't the oral fixation podcast.
No, it's not.
Well, it could be.
Although, if you want to go into all things oral,
Mm-hmm.
we got
I'm listening.
oral presentations.
Yes.
We got oral fixations.
Mm-hmm.
And we have oral
Cookies?
cookies.
Yes. Yes. I mean, that's my favorite kind of cookie.
Right, with that creamy center.
Oh, my God. I love the creamy center. I mean, they make the creamy center cookies for non-oral intake as well, but it doesn't hit the same.
Yeah.
You
Those
know?
you spit out.
You don't want to be boofing Oreos.
Exactly.
I mean, or unless that's your thing. I don't want to boof shame.
I don't really know what boofing is per se, so I'm
Just take instead of if you're going to boof a beer, instead of drinking it, you'd pour it into your butthole.
Oh, see,
Pretty easy.
I'm sorry, I wasn't familiar with that terminology.
Well, it's a scientific term.
I thought you were talking about the character Boof from Book to the
Boof.
Future.
Oh, I thought you were talking about from the character Boof from Boof's Day Off.
Exactly.
Ferris Boofer's Day Off.
Yeah.
And they all go, Boof.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't talking about that one.
Like on Survivor where they're all wearing their boofs.
They're Boofs. No.
Okay.
No.
All right. That was my bad.
Dude, I wish I was talking about Boof Tannen.
Well, you know what? Let me just be the first to say we're back on the Fancy Lad podcast.
Where are we, though?
We are in the Fancy Lad podcast studio.
Oh, thank God. I was worried. I don't like being
And-
other places, you know?
It's scary.
It is scary. It's frightening.
I know. We're like kind of like in a comforted womb here.
We are kind of comfy in a womb here, and we have a large amount of placenta to feast on, so we don't have anything to worry about,
Exactly.
except for that, the day of reckoning when we have to travel through the canal.
God damn it.
Yeah.
And then get reborn into this fucking shitty goddamn. Hopefully it's another world, actually.
Mm-hmm. Well, that'd be cool.
Yeah. But, I mean, okay, let's recover the basis real quick.
Okay.
We're back
We're back.
on the Fancy
Fancy
Lab
Lab
podcast.
right?
In the Fancy Lab podcast studio.
Mm-hmm.
And you're repeating. I mean, you're
We're
saying the same sentences at
As
the same
Tom.
time
I thought you were going to say Tom.
because we finish each
Each
other's
other's
lunch.
so-
and
sandwich.
sandwiches.
Oh, multiple sandwiches.
Yes, exactly.
You're lucky. You're living the high life, having more than one sandwich.
Well, the podcast has really paid off for me.
Oh.
But, now that we're back.
Wait, really?
Oh, shit. I shouldn't have said that. All right. Not to self-cancel secret bank account.
Do you want me to cut all that out?
Yeah, could you?
Yeah, I will. Don't worry.
Because I want Tom to
I'll
find
make it
out.
now. Don't worry. That guy's
when he's
an idiot.
editing this.
He's an idiot. He doesn't notice things. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly. But, you know what? I say screw taking a break, for this very special episode, this very special comedy-related episode,
Ooh.
where we're actually going to try to be funny this time.
Oh, shit. Really?
Well, I mean, maybe.
Okay, yes. But for the listeners, just assume we're trying to be funny.
Yeah.
And if it's not funny, then, just assume we're bad at it.
Yeah, and assume it's some sort of meta happening and just kind of snap your fingers after everything we say.
I love meta happenings.
I'm
Honestly, one of my favorite kind of happening, besides the happening.
Right. Directed by M. Night Shyamalan.
Absolutely.
Yep.
One of the greatest twists in cinematic history.
Starring Marky Mark,
Marky
Funky
Mark
Bunch.
and the Funky Bunch. They're all in there.
Owner of Wahlberg Burgers.
Mm-hmm.
Which-
Notoriously racist.
Which also, it's kind of weird that their logo is just the balls without the shaft.
It is weird. But you know what? Something about just the balls.
Also, I don't even want to bring him up because I know you're in a very delicate state right now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what? But my balls.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to bring them up.
Yeah, no.
That's a weird way not to bring them up.
Yeah, I know.
Is to explicitly bring them up.
Well, you know, after you told me you sacked on the curb, I just wanted to address the elephant in the room, which
Mhm.
probably is your elephantitis balls.
Yeah, well, you know, I spent 6 hours in the emergency room today.
Yep.
You know, because Spanky told me to go get him checked out. I said, well, if Spanky says
You
to
gotta
do it,
do what Spanky says.
I gotta do what Spanky says.
You gotta.
And
The goat.
you know, like they kept sending in nurse after nurse to look at them.
Mhm.
And I was like, I know they're really, really swollen. Like, I know. And they're like, no, it's not that. It's just the dick is just so small. At first, the first doctor I saw, when he looked at it, he was like, oh my God, you lobbed it off. Why didn't you come in sooner? I said, no, it's still there. I pulled aside a few of my freshly manscaped pubes.
Mhm.
They were
And
still, I shaved this morning though, so they had some good growth on them, you know, so that's why they were covering it.
Yeah.
Pulled those aside, and they said, oh, there it is.
And it was probably an attractive doctor, right?
Oh my God, they were. I've dealt with nothing but attractive
So
people.
it's probably looking a little bigger than usual.
I've told probably at least 20 strangers about my bruised testicles in the last 2 days.
Yeah.
And some of them have been very attractive.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them, I mean, most of them, you know, all of them are, you know, attractive to most people, I'd
How-
say. But some of them are like, oh, shit, I
Okay.
wish I didn't have to tell you about this.
Really quick before we introduce our guest,
Mhm.
how do you bring it up? How do you broach the subject when you approach a stranger to tell them about your bruised ball sack?
Well, usually I you know, so we're on the sidewalk, say.
Mhm.
I'm walking behind them.
Mhm.
I'll speed up so I get right next to them.
Okay. Oh, what the?
And then I walk right next to them.
Yeah. Oh,
When they notice
oh.
I'm there and look at me, I slowly turn. And I say, my balls are bruised. And then I run away.
Go! Wait! I want to hear more!
No! And that's me going down the sidewalk. Damn. Yeah.
But those classic dust trails the whole way.
Mhm.
Damn. You do that all the time.
I do that all the time. That's kind of my thing.
Yeah.
Classic Dust Trail Tom.
Well, you know, it seems a little unfair to give that juicy gossip and then just take off like that.
I know. But hey, good
It's like
thing
a one-night stand of facts being spat at you.
That's my least favorite kind of one night stand.
Yeah.
You think you're going to have some fun, you end up with a fucking 6-hour lecture
Oh, okay.
about the Byzantine Empire.
Oh, I could go on for more than 6 hours. Probably
Well, I
6
know,
and a
but
half
what,
at least.
I mean, what information do you not already know? It's
That's
not like
a good point.
they're finding new information out about
It's not
the
like
Byzantine
Peter
Empire.
Jackson is making
Mhm.
documentaries of unseen footage of the Byzantine Empire.
And you're
Am I
like,
right?
wow, these Byzantine Empire guys were cooler than I thought. They were actually kind of punk.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, my balls are okay. It all checked out.
Well, that's great to hear.
Mhm.
And you know,
I don't have to get them removed.
really,
I don't have to. I opted to.
smart choice
Mhm.
because you want to get into Heaven's Gate.
Yeah, they said they wouldn't do it. And
It's-
then I said, well, what if I were to just cut them off? And I cut them off. I was like, would you stitch me up? They were like, oh, Jesus. Oh, Christ. Oh, God. Oh, that's so much blood.
Yeah.
And then, you know.
You know, it's weird after the whole cult committed suicide that you're
Mhm.
still their only follower of Heaven's Gate.
It is weird.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm just into those exclusive clubs that just like seem impossible to get into. I need to get in.
Yeah.
I need to get in.
You know what? I get that. And you know what? Skateboarding is kind of an exclusive club like that. So, I mean, I think it's about time to introduce our special guest.
Our super exclusive guest.
Exclusive guest.
Exclusive left.
Yeah. That was Bob Dylan right there for
Mhm.
those
Well, clearly.
for those in the know.
Mhm. Nancy.
But yeah. Hey, this is a first. This is actually a first
Mhm.
on the podcast.
Mhm.
Having no, it's not necessarily a first actually because we've had DJ Doug Pound,
Uh-huh.
we've had Sloppy Boys,
Uh-huh.
and can you think of any other skateboard related comedians that have been on the podcast?
I guess, I mean, you could make an argument for like Bubby Toad. and FU crew.
Yeah, he's kind of a vlog.
But
YouTube
no,
vlogger.
I'd say no. Besides that, no. And
All
I
right.
hope we're not missing someone.
Well, let me introduce all the way from the greater Seattle area. Legendary up and coming skateboard comedian Taylor Clark.
Hello.
Hey, thanks for having me. I've always wanted to do the 9 Club, so this is huge.
This is huge.
There's going to be a
Although
good practice
I don't
round.
actually know what he's talking about when he says 9 Club to you.
No, I think he misspoke. I think he was talking about that 10 Club thing we were talking about.
Wait, which podcast is this?
This is Fancy Lad Podcast, the #1 premier, one and only skateboarding podcast.
Yeah.
Oh,
With hard-hitting skate journalists.
because you told me this was the 9 Club.
No, luckily we don't have any other skateboard podcast to even compete with because we are the only one.
No competition.
Okay, so I'm in the right place then.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to do the skateboarding podcast.
Yeah.
Right. And this is it.
This is it. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
this is it.
Okay, good. So we're all on the same page.
We've got the.
I mean, no one's even going to be listening to the 9 Club anymore now that frickin' Mark Obla talked about Gator, okay? So they're done, okay? Their time in the sun is gone, and we are here to shine like Icarus.
Mm-hmm.
But, so you made it to the right place at the right time, Taylor.
Oh, I'm excited to be here. This is awesome.
Yeah.
And to be the first of 10 comedians that skateboard on the podcast, I mean,
That's huge.
it's an honor. Yeah,
That's
I mean,
huge.
we're gonna get tattoos after this.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just start, I guess with your skateboarding. I guess we could start there, maybe make our way into the comedy, but, we're a skateboard podcast first.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We try to be serious. We do hard-hitting journalism here, so we try to be serious.
Mhm.
Right.
So
Then-
please don't fuck around.
Then you can get your yucks in after that, okay?
Oh, there'll be plenty of time for yucks.
And what are yuck yucks?
You're going to find out.
This is something that you guys do here.
They're
yuck
yuck
yuck section. Okay.
They're yeah-yes.
When you see it, you'll know.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
you see it, you'll know
Okay.
because you'll go, ooh, yuck.
Right. I thought it's French, I believe. Right.
Oh, yuck.
There it is.
Yeah. It's the chuckles within the bucket are the yucks, okay?
Sign me up.
Isn't the chuckle the area between the pig's taint and the anus?
Yeah, I think so.
And they fry it up.
If you haven't had a good Boston chuckle over barbecue sauce and coleslaw, I mean, I don't know if you've had the regional dish.
No.
Well, here we typically pair it with New England clam chowder.
So you do a couple of chuckles.
Couple of chuckles,
Mhm.
2 free chuckles, and then side of New England clam chowder, which of course has the white creamy sauce.
Right,
None
right.
of that Manhattan clam chowder bullshit. with
Gross.
Tomato.
And then topped with American cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of American cheese too. At least 9 slices.
9 or 10.
10. I mean,
Overdo it?
that is a little overdoing it, honestly.
Well,
Velveeta or Kraft?
Oh, Kraft. We can't afford Velveeta out here.
Rich
Are you kidding
snobs. They're Velveeta.
now that I think about it, since you had any sponsors actually?
In my life?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had sponsors.
Shop sponsors?
Shop, and I was sponsored by Imperial Motion back in the day when they used to have a skate team, and I was sponsored by Zoo York for years. And
Really, Zoo York?
Yeah, I was on like the roster. Like I wanted to go AM, you
Yeah.
know, but I did not.
Mm.
But I was sponsored by Zoo York and
Flow for life.
Flow for Life. Yeah, I was on Bro Flow. That was definitely what I was on.
Yeah.
And Zoo York shoes for a hot minute. Remember that?
Yeah. How were they?
The worst.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
You've heard of Skechers?
Yeah, I'm familiar.
So worse than that.
They're the S, right?
Yeah, it's like a rollerblade boot with no roller wheels on it.
Well, that doesn't sound fun at all.
No, it was terrible. But they also were ugly, so that was nice.
Win-win.
But yeah, and then shop sponsors.
Yeah.
Shout out Lost Boys Skate Shop, out of business. BC Surf and Sport, out of business.
Yeah.
I'm noticing a common thread here.
Trickwood, out of business.
Every
What I do
one
is
of
I
you-
run my skate shops out of town.
I was going to say, do you have a single sponsor that still exists?
No, I don't like those.
Oh, okay.
I come into a company on their way out.
So
the way
you
to
had
do it.
so you originally had big dreams of being a fancy professional skateboarder, And
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I think I stopped getting sponsors, because I'd be like, "You guys are fancy," and then I'd send them my tape.
yeah.
No reply.
And you said it with that Midwest accent, even though you're from Seattle/New York.
Yeah, that's why my accent's all mixed up.
Yeah, Seattle.
Oh, yeah,
I found like a middle road.
Clashed right in the middle.
Yeah, in the Midwest. And I have a slight lisp, but which doesn't help me when I say things like fancy.
Mm-hmm.
I think it helps.
I mean, it's a funnier sound.
I think it helps a lot.
Thanks.
But you did. So let me get this straight. I mean, let me get this story straight. If it's if I'm just assuming right. So you did the unthinkable, where after your dreams were crushed, after you realized that the professional skateboarding dream was a lie,
I still want to be pro.
Oh shit! Oh, God.
So the skateboarding dream was alive.
Listen,
inside of me always.
Everyone knows the rock and roll ethos is a lie. It's like when you believe in the Easter Bunny or the Sasquatch,
or making it and having a career.
Exactly.
Or income tax.
Yeah.
Whoa. That's not real?
No, it's not real. Shit. No need to pay that.
Santa takes care of that.
Yeah, Santa takes care of that. Dear Santa, square everything up with the IRS, please. Love, Tom.
That's actually a good gift.
Dear Tom, please stop writing me in August. It is
Sincerely-
extremely unprofessional.
Sincerely, Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, out of season for both Christmas and taxes. Love, Santa.
P.S. Can you please stop having those oversized live M&Ms when I come into your home?
They're really starting to freak me out.
That's rather Santa sends you voice memos.
Yeah. Yeah, he texts me the voice memos instead of just leaving me a voicemail.
But I write him letters.
Yeah.
And then it's really it's concerned. Then he texts me voice memos. It's like when you email somebody and then they call you. You're like, what I thought we were agreed to a format here.
Right.
Have you ever even tried emailing santa@gmail.com?
I have not.
Yeah. So I think everyone should try to do that, actually. And see what they get as a response.
What if Jesus replies?
Yeah.
Whoa. That's going to freak me out.
It's like no one's emailed this address in 2,000 years.
Do you guys supply Santa's Workshop with Fancy Lad product?
No, absolutely.
Yeah, because you don't want them making the elves making it themselves.
No, we don't want some cheap knockoff.
No.
Yeah.
Well, we
Board
ordered.
breaks and they hit me up and I'm like, it wasn't me. It was the fucking elf.
Yeah.
I tells ya.
Well, we have.
No, you can't lock me up. It was the elves.
We have the boards sent there, and we have the heat transfer sent there, and we leave it up to the elves to do the heat transferring
yeah.
themselves.
They grip them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From what I understand from the voice memos Santa has left me is that they use two elves pick up one elf and use his hot little butt cheeks to do the heat transfer. They rub it down with those. Because as you know,
That's
elves
the
have,
North Pole way.
yeah, exactly. They got
That is
those
cute.
elves got those big bulbous hot little butt cheeks.
Yep.
Famously.
Famously, I mean that's like the first scene of Rudolph, right? If I remember
Right.
correctly.
Yeah, Rudolph lights up their
He lights up a
butt
doobie,
cheeks.
and then he
Oh,
starts
yeah, I mean,
grabbing
dude
on
gets
those.
high, Rudolph
those-
gets high.
He gets high as fuck.
A lot of people think it's his red nose that puts him up in the sky, but no, those reindeers
no,
are
no.
smoking grass, baby.
Yeah. And smoking hot. I mean, what?
No, the elves are the smoking hot ones.
Yeah,
We've
yeah.
covered
Yeah,
the
right.
sexy butts. So anyway, in short, I was sponsored by Zoo York via Santa Claus.
Via Santa Claus.
Homie hookup. That's bro flow. My bro was Santa Claus.
Yeah. And
Who's East Coast? A lot of people don't know. He's
Yeah.
the East Coast powerhouse.
Yeah, he does represent an East Coast. It is crazy.
were you living in New York at the time that you were skating for Zoo York?
Yes, I was.
Nice. So it wasn't just a clever name.
No, it is actually from New York.
But I'm just still caught
They
up
tried
on
out Jew York skateboards, and I
Yeah.
guess it was like not selling or something, and then they went with Zoo York.
but still applicable.
I'm surprised that wasn't selling.
You know,
You would
what's
think
the
they would
deal?
have a huge support community there.
We thought this would sell.
Yeah.
It seemed like a good idea.
Jerry, get this.
Who's that? Who are you?
It's Kramer.
Oh, okay.
could have sworn that was Batman.
I know.
Jerry.
I was mixing up.
You fear a bomb, Jerry.
I was trying to think of some crazy idea that Kramer was going to have.
He never has crazy ideas.
These skateboards are never going to sell, Jerry.
Skateboards that ride themselves, Jerry.
Yeah, that's it.
So you were this close to turning pro for Zoo York.
Sure, let's paint that. Let's print that. Let's print the legend.
Well, no one
And
can
then
see how
you
big that the fingers are apart.
It's like probably like 10 times the size of my penis.
Oh, okay, so that's pretty big.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And then dude, it had to have been an injury, man.
It was an injury.
I knew it. Dude, totally. Same thing happened to me, dude. I was
it
gonna
your
be
balls?
pro.
No, it was my ego.
Shit.
Zared said my style was weak, and then I never recovered. No, I bashed my ankle really bad. Like I rolled it really bad, and I just wasn't skating. And then I got a real estate job in New York.
Wow, that sounds like a real job. No pun intended.
Dude, it's crazy because it wasn't a real job. But my landlord, I was trying to convince him to charge me less money for rent, and he was like, nobody ever talks me out of money, but you're doing a really good job of it. So why don't I'll lower your rent, but now you work for me. So I was like a babysitter at the time in New York. So I was like so stoked to have a real, like any kind of real money. So I just started working for him immediately.
Yeah. No one talks me out of money. You're
hired. That's how we did it.
Well, that's great. And then the fact that you didn't turn pro because, with with the window closing, the door
open, and there might be a doggy door in there.
Yeah, it was a doggy door.
That's what
I was
thinking.
renting out doggy apartments.
And you thought to yourself, now that I am depressed and suicidal, I might as well become a stand-up comedian.
I was already doing comedy, though.
Oh.
I started doing comedy when I was like 21 in Seattle. I moved to New York to really pursue stand-up. And my best friend, Ben, started working for Zoo and then started hooking me up with boards and stuff. And I basically stopped doing comedy so I could keep skating because that was like the OG dream.
Right.
I'd given up. When I moved to New York, I was like 23. So I was like, I thought I was never going to have a skateboard career. You know, I thought that was for the teenagers.
Right.
So, and most people told me that.
Yeah.
That you're too old for this.
Right.
And I was only 23. So anyway, I was like, whatever, just doing stand up. And then I was so intoxicated by the New York City skateboard spots, honestly, just like, oh my God, the courthouse and the ledges at the museum and everything. And just like, I couldn't turn off my skater brain. So I was just, the what?
The blah blah.
The blah blah.
The blah
There's
blah.
also the blah blah. So skating around and seeing the blah blah and all the other spots, I was just like wanted to skate all the time. And so we like saved up, we bought a VX and started filming each other and like ended up getting a bunch of footage, and that's what got me on like Zoo York and stuff. And then when my ankle broke, I just started doing real estate. It was basically just trying to maintain a job and survive in New York City.
Yeah.
And then I started a comedy show in the apartment building that I was renting out. And that's how I got back into stand-up, was after my ankle got fucked up.
So you started your own sort of DIY venue.
Yeah. I started doing like alt indie comedy shows or producing them. Yeah.
And does your landlord know about this?
Don't tell him.
Okay, I was going to say.
No, he loved it because it was just like a thing to do in the building.
Right.
So like 100 people moved into the building or whatever. And in comedy, it's the hardest thing to do is like draw an audience, especially in New York. So I had like a built-in audience for this show. They could just wander down while they were doing their laundry and like watch a comedy show. So comedians love to do it because the audience was like super comfortable. They're like at their house.
Right.
So the landlord was stoked, in short.
They're in their PJs.
They're in their PJs.
Trying to remember if they put a dryer sheet in already.
Yeah,
or if they
sometimes
put a
their
second
focus
one
is
in.
off.
Is there something, their clothing going to be too soft?
Those are what they're obsessing about instead of listening to my jokes.
They're trying to see if you have any quarters.
They do come down while I'm on stage in
it's
the
like,
middle of
"Do
a
you have
joke.
any quarters?"
Do you have any quarters?
It's like, yeah, of course I got some fucking quarters. Just get out of here.
Yeah, it's part of the gig.
Yeah.
You think I run a comedy show and don't have a pocket full of quarters?
I got one of those train conductor quarter belts
And they
on
put
me.
$1 in my mouth
Ooh, I
and then
do
I
like
spit
those.
them out.
I have one of those. I always liked them. I have one of those in my room. They're awesome.
A change machine?
Yeah, one of those change machines.
Oh, like
I
the
love-
like
yeah.
the train
The
conductor?
old train conductors. Yeah, those are fucking awesome. Or my uncle had one when I was little, and I was like, I want that.
Do you think Batman had one of those too?
Yes,
Like on the belt with everything else?
I did.
I also will change. I've changed for 5.
The people don't really notice this or realize it because they don't show it much in the movies or the comics and stuff. But Batman spends a lot of his time just down in like the train system, you know,
Making change for people.
making change for people, or just giving out change. And then
Now
occasionally,
that's a real hero.
it is a real hero. And then occasionally he puts on a bear suit and plays guitar.
Yep.
That brings in the big bucks.
Which is kind of weird that he already has a suit from another animal that he could just keep on while he's playing the guitar.
Mm-hmm.
But he decides to change out of it to wear the bear suit.
Right. Well, I mean, you know, but they're two different animals, though. One's a bear, one's a bat.
No, I get that.
A Borat, if you will.
The one's a okay, yeah, it could be a Borat. I could see Batman doing some Borat impressions in the train
bear
station.
rat, right? It's a bat
Bear
bear.
rat.
Bat bear?
Bear rat.
Bat-air?
Oh, you're talking like bear rat.
Yeah, that's right. More like a record skip.
Yeah, right.
Or a ramp slow-mo.
Right.
So what were we talking about? Batman doing laundry with quarters?
Yeah, I think so.
Because he probably shits his undies all the time.
Well, I mean, that's where this well, definitely. He's definitely shitting his undies all the time.
Yeah.
You put that suit on. It's like, you know, when you're going out to play in the snow, you know, you put your snow pants on, your jacket and everything.
You're not going to
Once
take
you're
off
not going to
the
take them
bat
off
suit.
to take a shit.
No.
Yeah. So why would you take off the bat suit?
He's like,
You just dump right in there. Alfred will take care of it when he gets home.
and you know my classic Batman impersonation, the famous one that I have where he goes, "Take that, Joker!"
Yeah, but he gets home and she's like, "Did you make a duty in here, Master Wayne? It smells like fecal matter.
Where is it?
It's right here in the bottom of the suit, near where the bum would be."
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yes.
So, long story short, Taylor
When Batman
Clark,
has swamp ass, do you think he calls it bat butt?
Probably. I mean, but do bats live in the swamp?
got a hard case
Yeah.
of bat butt.
yeah, exactly. He loves the alliteration there.
Okay, so we can move on.
I was going
Anyway,
to.
do you think Alfred?
Yeah, I was
I was
going
gonna
to
say,
say,
but
Taylor
Batman-
Clark another question, but we
Yeah.
can keep talking about Batman.
Well, I'm just
I mean,
wondering, do you think his poop is
this is
extremely
his-
toxic,
This
like an
is his
actual
only
bat
chance
poop?
to be on the Fanside podcast. So if he wants to talk about Batman, go ahead.
No, we're talking about bat shit at this
Oh,
point.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. And I think isn't that where COVID came from? So really, Batman
Oh,
could have
God.
caused COVID.
From eating his own fecal matter?
Well, Alfred.
Fed it to him.
Yeah.
Mm.
Anyways.
That's a possibility.
Alfred could have ate it.
I mean, I wouldn't
mean,
blame him. Alfred's free
You
to do
serve
what
a
he
guy
wants.
for like 50 years when
You might-
since he's a little boy, you probably are obsessed with this fucking guy.
Yeah, you probably get a
You're like, I want to eat his shit.
you probably get a taste for his shit.
Yeah.
Honestly, with that much exposure, how could you not get an extreme taste for their shit?
Imagine being Alfred making minimum wage
Okay.
and watching this little 5-year-old shithead
Mhm.
become a fucking billionaire right in front of your eyes and still having to clean his shit and eat it
Mm-hmm.
for fun.
So still having
Don't
to
have
clean
to
his
ask me
shit.
twice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but still getting to eat it.
Forcibly,
Mhm.
it's his obligation
Forced
because
to
he
clean.
accepted the position as
Right.
butler to
Mhm.
clean his shit,
Mhm. He's a man of his word.
but it's his shit-eating volition that he loves so much.
That's one of the benefits of the gig.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's like with
It's one of the perks.
Yeah, like
Health
if you're
insurance.
interviewed for any butler gig, eventually the question is like, how's the shit taste?
yeah,
Exactly. It's like getting free dunks at a skate shop, you know?
Oh,
You get-
absolutely.
Yeah, the real good billionaires, and I'm sure Bruce Wayne is one of them. They raffle off their shit.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. How do you think he became a billionaire? Exactly.
Those
So-
Wayne Dukes.
Yeah. He has an OnlyFans where he sells like parts of his bat suit.
How
He's
many
like,
people
I
are
wore-
still listening? Do you think
Well,
Hmm.
all of them?
Actually, we're hitting on
Probably more.
the gold. Yeah, I was going to
Yeah.
say, I think people are.
People are starting to tune in now. They said, "Oh,
Wait,
they're talking about Alfred eating Batman's shit."
Fast forward.
I'm in.
Fast forward.
I'm in. This is the kind of skateboarding podcast I'm looking for.
So back to Taylor Clark. Unless you have
Mm-hmm.
any other Batman observations that you want to toss out there.
We'll do it after the pod.
Yeah, or if they come up organically, we'll worry about it then.
Yeah.
Do you think he eats organic and that's why his shit tastes so good?
Yeah, Alfred says
Definitely.
it's like super
Definitely.
fibrous as well. Yeah.
My motherfucking Bruce Wayne's eating fucking. You know he ain't eating Applebee's and shit. He's going to fucking Sweet Greens. He's getting the salads.
Yeah, I was gonna say his dump's looking like a motherfucking kava bowl.
He's like Tom Brady, dude. He likes to eat healthy so he can work out more. You know.
No carbs, no intoxicating foods, or not intoxicating, inflammatory foods.
Yeah.
Right? Batman keeps it tight.
So-
But also no intoxicating foods.
He doesn't get drunk
No, he doesn't.
on food.
No, he doesn't drink.
But he
like whiskey.
boozes.
He doesn't eat whiskey-infused salmon.
God, that sounds good.
Oh God, yummy.
So number one skateboard-related comedian Taylor Clark decides to
Formerly, now I'm the number one Batman comedian.
Yeah. decides to pack it up from the hub of comedy, which is New York City, and move out to Everett, Washington. Am I getting this right?
Correct. Yeah.
Now, was that a smart move?
for comedy?
Yeah.
No, it was I don't know what would you call it? Traumatic, dumb. Those two, the main ones. Detrimental.
Short-sighted.
So what
maybe?
was,
No,
so
no,
what was
I-
the motivation there?
Well, I quit comedy, so that was a big part of it. I had a son. I was in comedy, or trying to do comedy while he was like 1 to 3 years old, and I was going from doing comedy almost every single night to doing it like maybe once a week, and then sometimes even less. So I wasn't even really doing comedy anymore when I lived in New York, and so I was like, well, if I'm not going to do comedy, why do I live here? You know,
Right.
Yeah.
And so me and my wife, who she was kind of falling out of love with her career as well. So we were like, well, we're doing this real estate thing. You're like, why don't we just go do that in Seattle where we have my family around and we have friends with kids and, you know, all the support. So that's what we did. And then when I moved out there, was still kind of hobbying as a comedian, like doing open mics here and there and like the random spot. But then, I got asked to audition for this comedy contest, and I got made it into the contest, and I did really well. I'm all the way to the finals, and all the people in the contest were like professional comedians for the most part. So it just kind of proved to me for the first time in 15 years of doing stand-up that I was like actually pretty good at it.
Yeah.
And then I started basically taking it really seriously after that. Yeah.
Do you like the guy that hosts Tony Hawk podcast with him?
The guy that what?
Jason Ellis?
Jason Ellis?
I like Jason Ellis. Yeah, I talked to him.
Have you seen his stand-up?
I haven't seen his stand-up. Someone told me he's fucking hilarious. So
Yeah, that's what I'm
I was
interested in. I wanna
curious.
see his
That's what I
stand-up.
was going to ask.
yeah.
Because I haven't seen it. I just assumed as a professional that you would have seen it.
I honestly looked online briefly and couldn't find it. I'm nervous to see it, honestly, because even if it's funny, he's still like a pretty young comedian.
Right, he's new to the game.
Yeah, so like some people can get laughs like early, fast in stand up or whatever, but that doesn't really mean they're like a developed comic.
Yeah.
And so sometimes when I really like someone, the last thing I want to do is see their stand up because then it might change my opinion of them.
Might
Skating's
taint it.
like that too, right? Where
Yeah.
you're like, man, I really like this guy, and then you see them skate and you're like, this is this is awful.
Is this your way of telling me what you think of me now? Because we skated with each other today.
I did like you earlier.
Yeah, yeah, right. When I was like landing stuff, right?
No, before you were skating, and then
Oh, right.
Just,
right,
you know,
right.
just like-
completely before I stepped on a board.
right, and then I was like, yikes.
Yeah.
I mean, to
push.
be fair, you do ride roller skates.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you gotta stay cutting edge somehow.
You know what? Thinking outside the box is how you got where you are today. So I'm not going to judge. It's just not my favorite style of skating as someone who skates on roller skates on their skateboard.
Keep the people guessing. You gotta fuck with their minds, man. You know that as a comedian, you have to brainwash them into, feeling what you feel, and then smack them from the side. You know.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize how much hypnotism there is in stand-up,
Mm-hmm.
but it's mostly that.
Yeah.
And the physical abuse when you actually go smack them in the side of the head.
Right.
But that's actually just fun.
Since the Oscars, everybody knows that that's a bigger part of comedy than
Yeah.
anyone thought. But a lot of people don't realize it because they are hypnotized. And the stand-up comics, most of us carry around an umbrella with a spiral on the graphic on it, and we spin that for the crowd.
I thought that was just to shield all the tomatoes being thrown at you.
Well, it's a twofer.
Yeah. That's good.
You block the tomatoes and you hypnotize the crowd into forgetting that you brought an umbrella and that they brought tomatoes.
Yeah.
And then bada bing, bada boom, they love all your dick jokes.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Oh, God,
I'm glad
that's
to be
good.
able to teach the skateboard audience a little bit more about how stand-up comedy works.
Exactly, because we don't
They're
have
dying
an
to know.
inside to the industry
Mhm.
like Taylor Clark until now.
Right, that's true.
Yeah, the 10th comedian on this podcast.
Yeah.
Or 11th, we don't know. We'll have to look back at the pages
Regardless,
and see.
it's an honor.
But naturally.
Yeah,
But yeah,
you're
I think
goddamn right.
he's very funny. I've listened to him on his podcast and stuff, and he's legitimately hilarious. Like,
Mhm.
as funny as any other comedian on a podcast, really. So I'm excited to see.
Yeah,
his
but the
stand-up.
stand-up's a different ball game. That's like more of an art form. So
Yeah, it takes a different style of. It's a craft, right? So
Right.
you have. I mean, he said it in his interviews that he at first, which is what a lot of comedy comics do when they first start, is try to do a brand new set every single time.
yeah.
And that you're not going to get much better doing that. So you have to kind of work on the same jokes a lot, make little changes,
Yeah.
change a word here, slow down here until you can see a consistency starting to happen
Right.
with the material.
The pacing.
Yeah, and he said in his interviews that he did realize that, and now he works really hard on his material. And when I talked to him, he says he has like 10 to 15 minutes. Like, that's a very generous. That's not him telling me, like, I've got a half an hour and I can headline or whatever. Like,
That was
he-
good.
yeah,
That
he
was
keeps
good
it down.
impersonation.
He came
I
in
thought
for a
you-
Was that
second,
was
sorry.
that a voice memo or yeah? Oh, that was him.
Yeah, he bumped it. Just
Yo,
for a second.
Zebo, I told you no Australians allowed in here.
Oh, crikey, I'm gonna guess I'll be out.
But he's kind of the most famous, I guess, comedian. Because Jason Lee's not really a comedian.
He's not a stand-up comic.
Yeah.
No,
he-
Jason Ellis is like legit doing stand-up comedy, and he's touring with like big comics like Brian Callen and shit.
Yeah,
so
that's
like
what I
he's
heard.
in it. He's in it. He said when I talked to him that he's like addicted to it, and that's
Yeah.
what we were talking about. You kind of have to
Right.
have that addiction because there's really no other way to justify doing it. It's kind of dumb.
to
Yeah.
have it suck up that much of your life
Yeah, and just like there's almost no chance
with no
anything happens.
payoff.
Like
yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
like he's lucky he's already got an audience. Like he has a huge following already because he had a hit show on Sirius or whatever. So
Right, which I didn't even know about.
I didn't either. And so he's been on Howard Stern and shit like that.
Yeah.
So
Also didn't know about
he's got like more comedy notches in his belt before he ever even started doing stand up than a lot of professional comedians, So I think he'll have like a pretty good career if he's committed to it, which it sounds like he is.
Kind of like me and Tom hosting the #1 skateboard podcast in the universe.
Mm-hmm. That's true. It is kind of like us.
That's one notch under our belt, dude.
That's the one notch.
Yeah, we only have one.
No,
notch.
we said that is one notch.
No. We only have one notch, which is good because
You only
honestly,
need one.
We only need one, and I don't know how we would hide our fucking boners if we didn't have that notch to tuck up.
Well, he's
pants.
That's true.
He's missing a
Yeah.
bone. He'll
Yeah.
never have one again.
Yeah, no, I'll be fine. But my belts can be notchless from here on out. Doctor's orders.
Fucking lucky guy gets to have fucking notchless belts over here. I gotta fucking sit here with at least one notch.
Hosting the greatest and best, biggest skateboard podcast in the world. Damn it.
So, just back to Taylor Clark though.
How
so
many
everybody knows.
notches in Batman's belt? I mean, do you think he is notched, or does it just?
I'm assuming it's magnetic.
Magnet.
I'm
It's
assuming it's
magnet.
magnets.
It's
yeah,
for sure
magnets.
You might want some notches, though, 'cause,
Magnets.
dude. Batman, he might want to indulge in some really greasy food from time to time, and might have to add a notch to the belt.
But then the
Yeah,
magnet,
the magnets.
Yeah,
the magnets just go.
Magnets.
Yeah, magnets.
Oh, they're extending magnets.
Well, I mean, they're magnets. It's like there's a bunch of them in there, so it could go.
They're
Yeah,
mag
magnets.
notches.
They're mag notches. Yeah.
okay.
Magnetic notches.
I love that meal from McDonald's.
Magnetic notch.
McDonald's, actually.
Mm.
So Taylor Clark moved to Seattle, Washington,
Mm-hmm.
and he said,
Everett,
"Oh my
Everett,
God.
Everett,
Washington.
Everett, home of Vic's Market." I know. I'm saying Seattle, so the people outside of here have a point of reference because no one knows where the fuck Everett is. Okay,
No,
That's
nor
true.
should they.
Or-
I mean,
and most people don't have a map application built directly onto their phone.
that's true.
one day.
Did Fraser Crane move to Everett, Washington? I think not. Okay,
No, but that's
did,
why
did
they
Kurt
don't.
Cobain come out of the Everett scene? I
No.
think not.
No, but I mean that's why when they say Fraser Crane, they don't say Fraser Crane from Everett because he's not from Everett.
Right, but they do say that for me.
They do say that for you. Yeah,
Yeah.
because you are right.
How long has it been since then that you decided to? Is this your first comedy tour that you're going on? First of all, let's tell everyone why you're here. You're going on a comedy tour from the East Coast all the way from Albany
Mhm.
to Florida, Tampa,
Florida.
for
Correct.
Tampa Pro.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the first time that you're attempting a comedy tour?
I did I've been on the road enough, like, to do gigs all over the place, but I've never done, like, a branded tour as with me as, like, the headliner like this. I did on the West Coast last summer, but it was, like, COVID style, so it was mostly outdoor shows, and I did, like, random pop-up shows at, like, skate parks and stuff. I had, like, a whole show I could hook up to a car battery, like a speaker and a mic and lights and everything like that. So I actually did a show at the Island in San Francisco, you know that spot? Just, like, randomly popped up at this bus station. And
Is it near the
it's right by Embarcadero. Yeah.
I think I do.
Yeah,
know.
so I did a show, like, at the Island.
Dude, I know it's the spot where fucking Strubing high speed
Yes.
fucking blunted that shit and fucking
Mhm. Yep.
popped out, man.
Just like that. That's the one.
Yep.
So so this tour on the East Coast is it's a lot more organized and it's a lot better planned, and it's so I don't know. I don't want to call it.
Wait, so it's a lot better planned. Is that why you reached out to me last minute saying, "Hey, can you find me a venue? I have nowhere to perform, but I already booked the date."
Right. That's exactly right.
That is some good planning.
Yeah, seriously. It's not bad.
Yeah.
I've seen worse.
I was scrambling, and I
Let me
said 2
tell
days before your show, I found a place.
But that is better. This is how poorly planned my last tour was. Is I left my driveway with my car full of shit with nothing confirmed. Like I was like I had the date set. I had people buying tickets and anything. I just had nothing, no venues confirmed. A lot of that last time though was because of COVID. Like I had shit planned, venues confirmed, but then they would close or we can't do an event anymore this weekend. The mandates, and then like actually this venue is closed forever now. On and on, all the way down. That's why this time I was kind of excited to just do it in skate shops because skate shops are just so easy to work with compared to
It's already a
venues.
space.
Yeah, and they're excited to do it.
Yeah.
You know, whereas like another venue, they, want you to jump through hoops and sometimes you have to rent it and all this kind of stuff. And so I've been working with Chris Naratko, who started the Support Your Local Skate Shop and Skate Shop Day.
friend of the podcast.
Has he been on here?
He's been on here, so I guess
the
we should
best.
include him as one of the comedians too.
I don't think he would appreciate that, but
Well, I think he's a joker.
he's quite a joker.
Don't tell him I said
one
that.
of the funniest dudes in skateboarding for sure.
I mean, Big Brother legend. I mean, come on.
Without a doubt. No, he's the king. So he helped me link up with some of these initial skate shops and kind of start those conversations. And I'm trying to raise money for the Super Skate Posse as well on this tour. So we're, doing little fundraisers and stuff throughout the tour to try to raise money for him or raise money for that foundation, which is a great foundation, by the way. They serve, they give skateboards and skateboard lessons to underprivileged areas and kids. So that's fucking awesome. I was an underprivileged kid with no skateboard or
That is
skate
pretty
park.
radical.
So I would have loved to be a part of that Super Skate Posse when I was 11.
Yeah.
So this time it's cool because in comedy, like you hit up bookers and you hit up venues, and the ratio of yes to no's is definitely more in favor of the no's, pretty much no matter how big of a comedian you are.
Mhm.
So with skate shops, I've been like, it's almost like 100% yes ratio. So it's been like, for a comedian, like an absolute dream to
Yeah.
be
Well, I
able
mean,
to
most skate shops, they close at 8. They got nothing going
And
on
they're
after
in
that.
great locations.
Yeah, and they're in good locations.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, we can have a bunch of
Yeah.
random people come in that might end up wanting to buy shoes like the next day
exactly
or something. Why
and
not?
it's comedy's so easy to produce. It's like everyone just comes and sits in a chair for an hour and leaves. Like it's so chill compared to a band or even a video premiere or something, where everyone's kind of rowdy.
Right.
So far skate shops have been like super receptive, and I produced shows in New York for long enough in front of 20, 30 people audiences that were super fun. So like having a small room like that fills up versus like having a big room that, is only half full. I'd much rather take the small room that's full.
Right.
So skate shops are like fucking perfect, and they're great acoustics, and they're small, and it's fucking awesome. So, and obviously the more regular people I can bring into skateboarding with their money, the better.
Yeah.
Skateboarding needs it.
Yeah, they do. And the shops are the pillar of every skate scene. So
Right.
the more support you can give skate shops, the better. Like you can't flood them with enough business.
I mean, they probably have a pretty good time getting people to come in for those shows too, because they're so like in touch with the community. You know, like skate
Totally.
shops probably more than any other thing that would exist, even more than venues, because like.
Well, there's a real community around
Right,
skateboarding, right?
yeah.
Like it's like everybody is involved, and we all go to the same skate shop. So.
And like seriously invested in it, you know,
Right, where we literally are risking our lives every day for
and
for
our
this
nuts.
still, and our nuts, and half of our dick.
Mhm.
And if we didn't, then what would happen?
It was the good half too.
the top half.
I know. I didn't say it was the top half.
Oh,
I said it was
your
the good
favorite's
half.
the bottom half.
The bottom half. That was the one that looked the best. Once you get to the top half, it has that weird split, you know, and then the and like
split,
the
you say?
arms, yeah,
And the arms.
yeah, they look like toad arms coming off.
Can I see this?
Yeah, give me 1 second. Hold on a second.
My God,
Is it? It looks pretty normal, right?
that's not a penis.
Well, I mean,
Oh, it was a penis.
it was. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Do you have a before?
Oh yeah, here it is.
My God,
It's beautiful, right?
it's gorgeous.
And the bottom half.
How
very,
did you
very
get
good.
That neon glow. How did you?
Years of drinking High C Ecto Cooler.
I knew it.
Yeah, exclusively High C Ecto.
My mom
Cooler.
wouldn't let me drink that stuff.
Yeah, my mom wouldn't let me.
And now
either.
my dick doesn't glow.
Oh well, damn it.
Come see, come saw.
Yeah.
What was I talking about? Oh yeah. So doing these shows in skate shops for the skate shop owners and the other community members around these shops, they also finally have like a skate event that they can invite their non-skater friends and family to, because
Right.
stand-up comedy is pretty much for everybody. And it's
Dude, video premiere is such a hard sell for a
It
non-skater,
is.
and I understand. Like, I always felt bad when I was watching skate videos, like in high school, or whatever. You're watching skate videos, and like everyone's girlfriend's there, and they're like so bored. It's like, man, this isn't fair. They can't even understand what's
Do you ever
going
hear the
on.
people who watch a skate video and then they go, "It's all the same.
Well, yeah,
Everything looks the same."
I mean, and I'm sure it does to them. It's just
It
people,
totally does.
Yeah, why wouldn't it? I believe them.
They don't know the difference between a heel flip and a kick flip, or you know what I mean?
I mean, it's the same thing if I were to watch like football. I'd be like, God, it's this again.
I
I've seen
know.
this. I don't know what this is. I don't
I
care.
know.
I mean, I felt the same way when I was watching drum videos that my college roommate would watch and be like, "Holy fuck!"
Did you hear he went here instead of da 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 da? So
But
I
you got to
get
admit,
it.
Travis Barker does look cool.
Oh, definitely.
So
but-
does Bob Barker.
I'm sorry that I actually had
Too
to
soon.
go for that phone call. It was actually the venue that you're about to do a show at, saying that the other talent has arrived.
Oh, great.
So I
They
think
can
that's-
start setting up. That's great.
Do they even know that? Do you want to text them that?
Sure.
Yeah, because I mean, but the good news is that the venue is going to be inside. The people who were inside canceled.
No way.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Oh, that's
I
great.
know.
Oh, that's great.
I know.
That's
That's
way better.
great.
I know.
My phone
I
just
know.
died.
I know.
My phone's dead too.
Well, okay, so let's close on
I don't
this
have their
because we
numbers.
got to get out of here. Is that what you're trying to say?
I mean,
So
probably
thanks for
the-
listening
the-
to my
the
podcast.
quicker
I mean, we could
the
probably.
better.
Yeah, I mean,
But
we probably.
I mean, if you want to take a
This
type
has been
5,
the
and you want
ranty-
a type 5? You
this
want to do
is
a
the-
type 5 right now? Is that what you're trying to say?
Can you bring me up with my credits?
do you want me
uh,
to plug your phone in so you have some charge
sure.
when you go?
Oh my
Nice
god!
catch. But yes, so it is hard to find a skateboard event that you can bring non-skaters to that they will enjoy. So that is one of the things that's been a kind of an unforeseen benefit of these shows, is like showing people a part of skateboarding that they may never have seen or understood otherwise,
Yeah.
and then to kind of explain it to them through stand-up, like through material.
Mhm.
It's they've never really engaged with skateboarding in that way. Most people haven't.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, it's kind of interesting because it's how you were saying that the Fancy Lad videos in themselves are inherently like have this aspect of comedy to them, and it was because we want them to have the sort of more broader entertainment factor that you can watch this video and be entertained even if you don't skate.
Do you get reviews like that? Do you
Oh,
have
yeah,
people
all
give
the
you that
time.
feedback?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Because
Yeah.
I remember that was like
yeah,
CKY.
that's like the bulk of it.
We'd sit around watching skate videos and I'd be like, but CKY, you guys will like. Like, I'd
Exactly.
put that on at a party.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what I would do with the Fancy Lab videos too.
Mhm.
But you guys pull off like something that's borderline impossible to do in skating, which is have a sense of humor.
Right.
Like and not only just like the video themselves and the way it's edited or whatever, which is hilarious. Like you have a very amazing, you can tell you've watched thousands of skate videos.
Yeah.
When you watch a Fancy Lad video, it's coming from someone who's obsessed with this medium. You know, I think that reads throughout all of it.
Well, that's good.
But then it's funny, like not just the editing and the random samples of video,
But
like
the clips of
but
the people
the
themselves.
skating actually is funny.
Oh,
like
the
there's
skating.
there's
You
a
think the skating's fun?
and not in a like silly way necessarily, but there's like I'll use Nardo as an example of someone who's like, you have to be so into skateboarding to know what's funny about
Biting your
him
board.
bailing a trick and jumping back on and just finishing his line anyways. Like that is like you said it before, like you break a lot of rules.
Yeah.
Right. And there's all these some said, some unsaid rules of like how a skate video should be or what a skateboard trick is.
Mhm.
And to just kind of throw that all away to make your own thing and have it be funny is like an anomaly almost.
Well, I mean, we were trying.
You've now done it several times.
We were trying for so long, and then kept, not being the best. So, you have to tear it all down to build something new,
Well put.
Yeah.
What did you tear down?
Just any sort of just idea of what like is good, what's going to impress people, and just completely just think about doing just what hasn't anyone seen before, just a different
But
way
not
of
just
thinking
for
of
the
it.
sake of it, right? Like, do you think you were making it just because it was different, but you had because it seems like you guys had like a real vision for what you wanted.
I'm not really sure. I mean, in the beginning, everyone's just, it's the classic thing where like, you're not good enough. You're never going to huck down a set or a rail like
The standard.
like so and so, so you need to figure out a way to do something else. And then it's just kind of trying to push whatever you're doing to the ultimate, like as far as it can possibly go. Like you see like a little inkling of it, like, oh, I can't skate the street gap, but I can do a trick down and then up real quick. And it's just like trying to take that idea of like cheating. It's like cheating on a test, That as far as
find
you
the,
can go.
the most
But
creative ways to cheat on it.
But there is, it's so awesome that you said that you're cheating because as a skateboarder, sometimes you can kind of feel like that when you watch like you guys have like all of this success and I remember watching one of your first videos and being like, I could have been having fun this whole time.
Yeah.
Like I was so pissed, and it felt like you guys did cheat your way into a successful company. But it's obviously because of you're as obsessed with skateboarding as anybody else.
Yeah.
You really care about the video. You put all of the effort into it. You tried really hard on all your tricks.
Yeah.
It wasn't
As
like
stupid as they are, they take a long time.
it's obvious. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like I could cheat and do the same thing. I'd have to have the brain to be able to think of that kind of stuff and then like actually the time to film it and do it. It's just the same as ollieing the whole gap. It's like trying to do something down or into it. And so taking advantage of like
we call them mental hammers because it's just as hard to think of something that hasn't been that you're not going to see in any other video.
Well, it's a lot easier to get mad at yourself and feel like such a piece of shit when you're doing some of that stuff. You know what I mean? Because like regular people walk by and see someone skating like a set and not landing stuff and just like falling down a set. Yeah, it looks stupid. But some of this stuff looks very stupid.
But when you're throwing a board at the wall,
Right.
and it's not
And
bouncing,
it's not bouncing back the right way.
Right.
Yeah.
and that's what you're getting frustrated
So
about.
you're like, this is
It's
already stupid. And yeah, so it makes
And
you
it's-
feel way worse.
I did that
It
with
sets me on a downward spiral, and I'm like, does anyone even care? Is this even good? Why am I even doing this?
Mhm.
Yeah, like full carry gets on a caveman shoeless board slide or something, right? Like,
Yeah.
I love that stuff because I get it. It's every skateboarder can relate to that Because whether or not you're doing something silly or goofy or your board has a hinge in it or whatever, like we did the same thing learning backtails today.
Right.
It's like it's the same thing.
Same process.
And so for me, like I put in so hard to learn some of these tricks. You know what I mean? Like, and so am I going to really put in time to learn a no comply varial heel or something like that when I'm like, no, I just want to do a varial heel. Like it's already so hard to do. And I want to like spend all this time trying to figure out no complies or whatever. And that's what my attitude was all of skateboarding. And it's not until I'm older now to where I'm like, no, just be grateful that you can do anything and just totally have fun.
Yeah.
And it's, I honestly thank like Fancy Lad and shit like that for making me and like tons of other skaters feel fully okay, like not judged anymore. So much of it is just not wanting to be judged by other skateboarders.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to sit in the corner and practice throwing my board at a wall. Like, you know what I mean?
Right, 'cause
Like,
half the thing of like learning a really hard or technical trick is like you're not doing it for you, you're doing it for everybody else.
yeah.
You're doing it
Some
so you
of
can
it.
get some clout or recognition
Right.
of being like, wow, that guy's good.
Some of it is that like there's enough tricks where I'm like, was that fun? Like I just did that. I've always felt that about jumping down stuff. I've never really been a leaping lizard. And when I do land something, I'm not like, I get the same amount of satisfaction like doing something down a staircase as on flat. So if I do like a sick heel flip on flat, for me personally, it feels the exact same as if I did it down a 10 stair.
Right.
Like satisfaction wise. But I don't know where I was going with this. The point is, I don't like jumping upstairs.
Yeah. I mean, I could see that being like a very satisfying feeling because there is no, like, if you huck down a stair set, even if it's, let's say, a kickflip down a 5, I know the feeling about riding away from a kickflip down a 5, and it feels pretty fucking
You back
good.
that up?
Dude, I was going to say, you should try back heeling down.
Exactly. Nice, dude. But I keep getting text messages about this show. We should really go.
I was just going to say, we got 20 minutes till it
and
starts.
yeah.
But I want to say before we leave, this episode is going to be coming out on the 26th of
this
April.
month.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
So do you have anything, is there anything you can plug after that coming up? Is that okay?
Check me out at the Tampa contest. I'll be doing some streaming stuff for Tampa Pro and putting out a lot of content, doing like a best joke contest where
Dude,
I'm just
hell yeah.
asking pros to like give me their favorite like street jokes.
Is that going to be online as well?
Yeah, oh yeah, that'll be
dude,
online.
hell
I think
yeah.
it'll be through Tampa, but if not, it'll be all through my social media and stuff.
Dude,
and
awesome.
then listen to my album Addictive Tickle and my podcast Addictive Tickle.
Where can you find the album Addictive?
On
Tickle?
all of the streaming platforms. It's on. If you want to pay money for it, you can go to Bandcamp. I would love you for life. You
So
can pay
check out
whatever
the
you want.
Bandcamp first.
Bandcamp's nice, but it's also you can stream it on Apple Music and
Oh, you can pay whatever you want on
Spotify.
Bandcamp? Oh, come
I
on.
think
Go
so.
go to Bandcamp and throw them at least $1 for it if you're going to listen to it.
Yeah.
You ain't going to get shit if you
And
go
I
to
got those
Spotify.
recovering adult skateboarder T-shirts on my website as
Oh,
well.
hell yeah.
Okay. Well, you know what? That sounds great, but I think that we have a show to do.
Dude, we do. You're
Love
right.
you guys. This was awesome. Thanks so much for having me.
Dude, thank you for coming in. We appreciate it.
I'm glad we could squeeze this out. And
Dude,
you know
I
what?
said stop saying squeeze. I'm still super tender.
I know. But hey, until next time,
Oh, is there anything you wanted to say?
keep on rocking in the free world.
Oh, I fucking knew it.
Yeah.